Hello, welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you to everyone who has joined me already. The consolidation figures for the Legend of Ruby Sunday have dropped. They are 3.50, so down from the Rogue episode of 3.52. I think this shows some reflection of how people were feeling about Rogue and Dot and Bubble. Has it plateaued a little bit? It looks like it might have done, but we will have to wait and see until next week for the consolidation figures of Empire of Death. Well, we'll see where that stands, though, on the Barb here. This is the weekly top 50 shows according to the Barb. Of course, Euro is going to be at number one because it's the football. Football generally scores extremely well because it's only certain times of year that it's on. So if you go to the Barb website and you go down, it will tell you that Doctor Who is scoring in at number 19, below EastEnders. And, well, I roasted Emmerdale by mistake a few weeks ago without thinking. It was just an off-the-cuff remark, and I've been ribbed by my friends ever since for doing it. And so it's still scoring below Emmerdale. I might as well keep up the trend. By the way, I do like Emmerdale. I also wondered what the Radio Times had to say about it, and it defends it by saying that it's still in the top 50 for the shows that week. And then it reminds us that the 2.25 million for Empire of Death isn't the full story and that we have to wait for the consolidation. Now, here's the thing. I wonder if, because the consolidation may very well come in at around the same. I don't think it will be more than 4 million for Empire of Death. I'm just putting that out there. May even be lower than the 3.50. I wonder if they will blame it on the fact that this was also being shown at the cinema. Do you remember that the Radio Times reported that the average for this series was 4 million? So I had a look and it came out at 3.74. So I did a new average chart today, and the overnights is 2.27 average, and the 3.70 is the new average for the consolidation, which makes it averaging about 6 million. And I thought, let's have a look at flux whilst we're at it, just to be 100% sure that I'm rounding the figures up correctly. So flux overnight average was 3.83 and the consolidation was 4.96. So that will work out at about 9 million. And then the Peter Capaldi summer series that he did, the average for the overnights was 3.77. So that will work out at about 6 million. And the average for the consolidations is 5.45. So that will work out at 9 million. And I thought, let's check Sylvester McCoy's here as well. So Battlefield 3.65 was their average for that one. Ghost Eye at 4.1, Curse of Fenric 4.1, Survival 4.9. He also didn't have access to the 28 days figures, and we also need to add on the fact that we also have seen that about what 30 years ago. So let's add on about 50 million. So there you go. I've done some really good averages there. Now, what interests me, and I'll say it again, obviously, Sylvester McCoy did not have access to streaming services for his particular series because it was a time of VHS and TV only. It just amazes me that a series that was supposed to do extremely well and be renewed and be revived and have a soft reboot because it needed it still can't score any better than that with streaming services. But these figures should be telling the writing team something. It should be telling them something. It should be telling Disney something. I don't know how happy Disney will be with this. It's very clear that Russell T Davies was never happy with it. That interview where he said that the 28-day figures for Space Babies was getting somewhere. Now, the Times asked this question, and I screen grabbed the article headline because this is actually behind the paywall, but Google also supplied me with a little quote from it, so I was able to pull that as well. Thank you. So, will Disney renew Doctor Who deal after underwhelming ratings? So I think if I were Disney, looking at those ratings, I wouldn't be in discussion right now for this. I would be making them wait I don't know how happy Disney are with these viewing figures. I don't know how happy they are with their viewing figures on Disney Plus. I'm sure that if they were happy, they would be singing it from the rooftops like they did with The Acolyte. The BBC had negotiated an ambitious deal with Disney, rumored to be worth $100 million, and hoped that Doctor Who, once beloved for its wobbly sets and rubber monsters, would conquer the globe with the latest special effects and a host of spin offs. Now, I heard a rumor, and please treat this as a rumor, that a lot of the money went on the special effects for this episode, The Empire of Death. And it went on Sutek and it went on the Vortex. Please just treat that as a rumor. Obviously, that's not been confirmed as far as I've been able to find out. But if that were the case, we would actually now know that this is the reason why some of the special effects, the VFX, were limited way back when. They also spent a lot of money on the TARDIS as well, which they barely used until this episode, Empire of Death. Now, I don't know what new Who fans and new viewers for this series actually thought of this version of Sutek. Sutek was changed for the purposes of this episode because of, well, they said it in the episode itself, cultural appropriation. And on the right-hand side here, as you see, we have the Pyramids of Mars Sutek with Gabriel Wolf in his costume. This version of Sutek was changed because of apparently cultural appropriation, which if you actually would have asked teenage RTD, would he have actually thought about that? You know, Doctor Who, he very well knows that Doctor Who is a sci-fi historical show that does dive into mythology a fair bit. But if you're looking at God of Death, evil Sutek, imprisoned by his brother Horus, then that is Egyptian. So by taking an Egyptian god, making it a Titan, essentially, aren't you actually appropriating our version of Sutek and Greek mythology and changing Greek mythology Sutek, because there is a Greek mythology Sutek who is actually good, and turning it into evil? On top of that, did you actually ask the Egyptians if they thought it was cultural appropriation for representing their god of death in an Egyptian episode? You know, if you'd kept that one line out, I would never have gone down that road in this episode. I don't know, to answer that question, if Disney will. We still have the second series to go, so I reckon Disney will keep the BBC waiting. I think they're secretly hoping to buy out Doctor Who altogether. We'll have to wait and see, because I think the BBC would be quite happy to get rid of Doctor Who altogether. So there is a poll out on my community tab page. If you go there, this poll is open until Friday before I take the final result. It's going to be what will be replacing the ratings episode on a Sunday. We're covering classic, New Who, all sorts of things. And if you go to there, you can actually vote on the poll. So there you have it. Those are the consolidation figures. Let me know what you think of those viewing figures. Can you predict what's going to happen with Disney and Doctor Who in the future? Chat about it. Don't shout about it. Like the video if you would like to like the video. Subscribe if you would like to. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.